Hi, guys. Welcome once again. This is Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. This is our second recording. And blessing us today, I am honored to be seated next to this, really solid and, in every which way you could think about. Ruby Boddie makes no joke when comes to getting stuff done. And you would learn a whole lot about her journey, coming from Trinidad all the way up here in Ocala. So we want to say thanks to Tim for blessing us with this space. This is the Corkscrew, and this is downtown Ocala. Ocala Arts and Entertainment Podcast. We have with us Ruby Boddie. So let's jump in. Hi, Ruby.
Hello, Sean. Thank you for having me.
And of course, it's my pleasure to have you here to share your story. Fortunately, I've worked with Ruby on many projects, and I could tell you, in terms of delivery, you could expect all good things when Ruby puts her hands on it. So you are here in Ocala. Let's start from, it's a long journey. Where would you like to kick it off from, Ruby? Do you want to kick it off from Live Art Bistro?
Oh, that goes way back. Sean is referring to my foray into the world of entrepreneurship in the service sector back in Trinidad in 2012 it was.
Yes.
2012, I opened a lovely bistro called Live Art Bistro. And as you can tell from the very name, it's the idea was to showcase art, live art, performance art. The place was a gallery. It was absolutely beautiful. And Sean was there for part of that journey. And he mentioned about what I did and what the mindset that I bring to my projects. All I can say, Sean, is steel sharpens steel. Mm-hmm. You are the very same way.
Yeah. And fortunately, some of the work I had an opportunity to work with Ruby on, Ruby started doing a really nice poetry session at Live Art Bistro. And there are so many things. We also did stuff like having some jam sessions, inviting musicians to come and play. And of course, Ruby would come up with some of these wonderful names to put on brochures or flyers for a project. I remember one time she came up with the name Fluted. We were doing an event for a jazz festival, and Ruby came up with the name Fluted. How did that happen? Do you remember how Fluted came about, Ruby?
That was special. You're bringing back beautiful memories. That was inspired by the music of a group of Peruvian artists whom we had invited to Live Art. They performed on their traditionally made wind instruments. And yes, I was so moved by their performance that at the next opportunity that I had to do a show, to put on a project, we named it Fluted.
Yes. And of course, one of Trinidad's artist icons, Master Leroy Clark.
Yes,
I
rest his
remember.
soul.
Yes, he's no longer with us, but Ruby did bless him on his 75th birthday, I believe it was.
I believe it was. The memory's a little fuzzy now, but he was in his 70s at that time, yes.
And you did a wonderful event for him.
Yes, we hosted a little birthday bash for Dr. Leroy Clark, one of our national heroes, a master artist, and also a wonderful poet and prose writer. He really was quite a unique individual in the space, and we are all the better off for having been exposed to
Yes.
him.
So you ran the gambit, and you've done the Live Art Bistro. What took place after that? What happened after Live Art Bistro?
Well, sometimes in order to go to the next level, in order to challenge yourself, you need to change your location. And that is what happened to me. I got to the point where I felt that I needed to be in a different environment, getting different stimuli. And I then came back to the United States because I did come to the United States as a young, very young teenager, 13 years old, and went to school here, went to high school and university here, and then decided to go back home. One of our artists, I can't recall his name now, but he sang a song, I went away, I leave and I come back home. So it was in that movement of trying to give back
Yes.
that I went back. And now I'm here. I'm a citizen of the world.
Yes.
That's how I see myself.
I think that would have been the late Andre Tanker.
You are right.
Andre Tanker.
Yes. Another one of our amazing, talented creators.
So you came back to New York, and you began. What did you step into when you set foot back to New York?
Well, when you leave one place and you go to another place, you have to find your way. It's like a turtle coming out of the sea and having to find its legs on the sand.
That's right, yes.
Food must be put on the table.
Yes.
And I have never been shy of doing things differently. So I did an insurance course, and I got my New York insurance license, and I got into that field for the bread and butter. But I have always been driven by the love of the word.
Yes.
I'm a person who was raised on the stories of the Bible. The
Right.
Bible was first introduced to me as a story,
Right.
as several stories. And I just cultivated my love for stories my whole life.
So having said that, is it that you've been writing stories all along and just having them there while you navigate the waters of the Live Art Bistro back to New York and in insurance? Have you been working on stories?
Yes, because it is the thing that fed me.
Beautiful.
I did other things in order to make a living.
Right.
But what fed me, what made me feel whole, was my love for words and how those words came together in stories. Because I believe stories connect us. We all have stories.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So you're in New York with insurance, and now you're in Ocala.
Yes.
So tell us about this journey now to Ocala and what has been going on in Ocala with your move here.
Well, I have been blessed to come to this appointed place. This is how I see Ocala. I see Ocala as an appointed place because I walk the parks here and I walk the trails and I feel the energy
Yes.
of those who came before. And I am so happy that because of divine intervention, And my daughter, who invited me to come along with her when she was transferred by her job
Right.
to Florida. That is how I came here, and I am so happy. I believe that it is a divine journey. Yes.
So you've been doing any kind of poetry works since you've gotten to Ocala?
Oh, yes, yes. The mysteries of Ocala are held in the environment, are held in the beautiful trees. The Spanish moss that hang from the beautiful trees, the quiet, the stillness of the parks, and the birds, the beautiful Florida sky, that particular color blue. All of these things have inspired me so much that I feel that I have grown so much in the short time that I am here.
So what kind of connections have you made since you've been in Ocala with the creative side in Ocala?
Well, I got back to my first love. I talked about writing stories.
Yes.
But my very first love is poetry.
Okay.
And when I got back to Ocala, I went back to some of my drafts that I had written over the years. And with the new inspiration here, I have never been wanting for subject matter
Yes.
to write. So I have been quite productive writing poetry since I've been here and sharing that poetry on a YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yes. And we work together
Yes.
on some of the music for some of the pieces that I wrote. And that has been a blessing as well. So thank you.
And we will have all of YouTube channel. We coming up to Ruby Boddie's website. You're going to learn about this website that Ruby has now that you should check out. And of course, we need to also talk about an interesting project called Words Move Poetry that Ruby started as well. Let's jump in right there. Words Move Poetry.
Again, I believe that there is divine intervention in our lives at the most unexpected moments.
Right.
And it was in 2020, a woman who I was assisting in passing her tax exams, because I also studied tax
Okay.
since arriving in Ocala. This young woman, she was so grateful to me for whatever little assistance I was able to give her. She invited me to one of her online forums. And it was my first time in a live chat situation. And when she saw that I came into the chat, she said, she poked me, she said, say hello. And I did not want to put my name, my true name, Ruby. So right in that moment, I came up with the words move poetry.
Wow.
That is how that came up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is interesting. So, Words Move Poetry, is it that you have, I think you have a Facebook page? Of
Yes.
words?
So I established the YouTube channel under the handle of Words Move Poetry. I also established a Facebook page
Right.
under Words Move Poetry, Instagram
Instagram as well?
as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All of which, it's down in the description if you want to check it out. Go to these links and you will see all of what Ruby's been happening. I want to talk about your connection to MCA.
MCA,
And
that
what
wonderful
projects?
organization. Yes. Well, you know that it's important for all artists to have some kind of support system.
Yes.
an infrastructure, an administrative infrastructure that allows them to grow in their particular art.
Yes.
And also a way for them to meet other creatives. And MCA is that organization for Ocala. They've been doing a wonderful job. I am happy to say that I am a member of MCA, and they have displayed some of my work, my poetry, which I paired with photography.
Okay.
Yes, for one of their art exhibitions. And I was quite happy with that.
Okay. And this is the Marion Cultural Alliance, which is located downtown Ocala.
Yes.
If you wanted to check out what is happening at the downtown area for cultural arts, Marion Cultural Alliance would be a space to visit. So you're a member of MCA.
Yes, yes. And I want to say hello to all the folks over there.
Yes.
Jay Bailey and some of the other ladies.
Yes.
Who occupy that space and who are always so happy and willing to help.
So I just heard you say tax.
Yes.
So apart from insurance, so we're talking about Live Art Bistro where you ran your own bistro.
Yes.
And then you jumped into doing some insurance. You've gone into tax. Yes. And you've held on to your stories and you've been writing.
Yes.
And you said that you've been writing all these poems. What is happening with these poems as we speak? You've done a whole lot of them on YouTube, I imagine.
Yes, my YouTube channel, I must say, displays my productivity as a poet.
Yes.
Because what I have done is to try to respond to whatever is happening in the social sphere.
Right.
I write accordingly. So, for instance, we have the Martin Luther King holiday coming up soon.
Right.
And last year I wrote a poem in recognition of Dr. King, called King.
Yes.
And whenever things happen in our social sphere, I try to respond as a poet would. Right. Because that was the function of poets originally.
Right.
You know, the kings of old, when they had the need for entertainment, when they had the need for advice, they would call in their counselors. And among the counselors were poets.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So you wrote a book, which we will get to.
Yes.
So you've taken, you actually now on a different level where you've stepped up the game and you are now an author.
Thank you.
So tell us about this journey that led you to writing this wonderful book that is yielding 5 stars on Amazon as we speak.
Thank you. It's such a gratifying thing for a creator, any creator, in my case, a writer, to have people appreciate their art in that kind of positive way. So I thank all of those people who have already read the book, who have left positive reviews for me, who are in the process of reading the book and who are contacting me while reading the book saying that, you know, they love the gems in the book and so on. It really makes my heart glad.
Yes. So what happened for you to begin writing this book? Because you are coming from New York, you are in Ocala, you are doing taxes.
Yes.
How did you find the time to, get all of this done?
It's how I stay sane, because we are capable of so much as human beings, and we don't push ourselves half as much as we should. We all have books, we all have paintings, we all have so much in us. But this crazy, busy world can sometimes tell us that we don't have the time to do all that we are capable of doing.
Right.
And this is another reason why I just love Ocala, because Ocala has allowed me to take a breath and to say, bring forth all that is within you.
Yes. So the name of the book is?
The name of the book is Mama's Hair. And as I mentioned briefly, I grew up on Bible stories. And for those who read stories from the Bible, you would remember the story of Jacob and Esau, and Jacob bequeathing his birthright to his sons and so on. The name Mama's Hair is a metaphor for the blessing that the older generation imparts to their children.
Right.
The ones who come after them. And this is a story, it's a story of 3 women, 3 generations. And if you stop to think about it, for most of us, if we are lucky, we only have 3 generations. We only know 3 generations. Grandmother, mother, child, and maybe grandchild if we're lucky.
Yes, if we are lucky.
If we are lucky.
Yes.
So this is the story of 3 generations of women who tackled life, who approached life in the best way that they knew. You see? And how they came to terms with their fortunes and misfortunes. Because life is yin and yang.
Yes.
It's both. It's positive and negative. So this is what the book is about. It's the story of 3 women. The matriarch was born in Cuba,
Right.
came to the United States as an immigrant, and made her way. And the story explores how she made her way.
Okay.
And how she forged her relationships in order to make her way, and the relationship that she eventually came into with her own daughter,
Okay.
and then subsequently
Okay.
her granddaughter. It's a beautiful story of life. 3 generations. Most of us have 3 generations.
Yes.
That is our bequeath, you know, if we are lucky, and we must find ways to honor that.
Yes. And I'm thinking that as I hear you speak about this book, you know, when you put your heart and passion into this, it's the reason, this is why people should just get this book.
Well, I'm glad that you said that.
Yeah, not only because of, you know, how you speak of it, but what it represents.
Yes, it represents a journey. It's a way of giving thanks to everyone who helped me just a little bit along the way, whether it was a good thought,
Yes.
a pat on the back,
Yes.
some kind word. Criticism. Criticism is good.
Yes.
It's useful. You know? Everyone, whether they belong to my blood family or my extended family, because I see us as community.
Right.
Everyone who has reached out to touch my life in any way at all, this is a gift. This is my gift to them. This is my gift to the people of Cuba.
Right.
I visited that beautiful country many years ago, and I was so touched by the warmth of the people, by the talent,
Yes.
by their authenticity. You know, it was one of the highlights of my life.
Yes.
So it was always in coming, it was always there.
Yes.
It was always there, but it chose to come out when we shut down for COVID in 2020, and I was able to do a little more work on it.
And I think you have a show coming up that is going to also highlight this book. Let's talk about that show.
Okay. Well, that is the launch of a book spot, not a book club, in the
Right.
strict sense of the word, because I believe in expression.
Yes.
While I may love words, the voice, you know, how we act, you know, our body language. What does our body say? What are we saying to each other now? What are we saying to the audience now with our
Yes.
body language?
Yes.
So it's everything that makes us expressive beings that we would be getting into and enjoying in this book spot. The first book that we'll start off with is Mama's Hair.
Right.
But we are inviting people to let us know what book is bringing them particular interest,
Yes.
so that we can get that on the list of books to read, of scripts to read, so that we can eventually stage, we can make reels. You know, it's a very visual society now.
Right.
So it's going to be exciting, and this is coming on the holiday, Martin Luther King holiday, Monday, January 16th.
Right.
And it is going to be held at the Cantina Tex-Mex,
Right.
downtown, not far from the Corkscrew where we are now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So please come out, have a good time. It's going to be Caribbean themed, nice food, nice people, good conversation. And it's a holiday, so why not come out?
From what time is it going to start?
From 6:30, because there is
6:30.
the annual parade,
Yes.
which will be taking place earlier on that day. But you come by. Everybody has to have some little bite to eat for supper or dinner or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can come by the Cantina between 6 and 8:30. 6 and 8:30 on January 16th. Martin Luther King holiday,
Right.
the Monday.
Beautiful.
And we'll be having a lovely signing. I'll be signing copies of Mama's Hair for those of you who would be purchasing copies or who have already purchased copies. Please bring your copies by.
That's right.
I'll be happy to inscribe them, and we'll be chatting and doing a show.
Yes.
So it should be nice.
Sounds like fun. So if you are traveling from wherever you would be traveling from, make sure to get your tickets, flying tickets, early, because it sounds like it's going to be a really, really nice event. So this is our book spot.
Yes, well, it is the launch of a book spot.
I like that. It's a book spot. It's not you launching a book or you're launching a book club. I like again, Ruby coined these phrases, and it's always amazing to me how she comes up with these beautiful, phrase, So the launch of a book spot.
And I have to say thank you to the Marion Literacy Council, with whom I will be working on this book spot.
Yes.
They, as you know, the Literacy Council is doing wonderful work. Yamila Acosta over there, Shelley over there, people who are adding value in a big way
Yes.
to the community, helping people develop themselves. So I am absolutely thrilled to have them on board.
Beautiful.
And that council, the Literacy Council location, will be our home for the book spot. We'll be meeting there, but we'll work out everything. We'll let you know. What you need to do in the meantime is please go to our Facebook page, Read to Reel.
That's read. So like reading a book, READ, read. And is it the word TWO or the number 2?
The number 2.
Right. So read to reel. If you want to get real, REEL, that's the reel for the film. Read to reel.
Facebook page. It's a private Facebook page because we want people to feel safe there when they talk about, when they give their opinions about whatever it is, whatever book they read, whatever script they read. But please come join
Yes.
as members.
Yes.
Yes.
And that will be in the description below. So if we were not clear, because sometimes with technology and mics and stuff, you might say something and someone might be like, what did they say? It's all going to be in the description below. So check it out below. You will find Ruby's Facebook page, Read to Real. And I understand you have a website.
Yes, a recently launched website because we needed one place where people can come and see everything
Yes.
that is going on. So we have the information about the launch and book signing on Martin Luther King holiday. We also have a blog page.
Right.
Okay. And we have reels because it's read to reel.
Right.
So we also have reels. So come visit our website.
And what is the website? Is it
It's www.readtoreel.org.
okay, so www.readtoreal.org. Again, it's going to be in the description, so don't panic, all right?
Yes.
So the 16th, which is Martin Luther King Day,
Yes.
you are having this wonderful book spot, the launch of this book spot.
Yes.
6:30 p.m.
6 to 8:30 p.m.
6
Sorry.
to 8:30 p.m. and this is at the
Cantina, Tex-Mex, a lovely place. The furnishings and so on in there are quite beautiful, and they lend themselves to a lovely book launch and the book spot launch.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, again, I started off saying that I am thrilled to sit next to this wonderful lady, a powerhouse. And I'm saying powerhouse because Ruby is a serious person when coming to her culture. And this is the latest of Ruby's journey, Mama's Hair book. Get it? It's on Amazon, Mama's Hair. And when you go on Amazon and you check this book out, you will be seeing 5 stars. And we expect you to maintain that standard. If you can't make it to the wonderful event Ruby is having on Monday, the 16th, which is Martin Luther King Day, she's also saying to you that you could join the Facebook group. And that Facebook group, go to facebook.com, readtoreal.org, and it will be in the description.
Yes.
All right?
I am inviting all writers, all readers. We all have stories. Join us in this exciting journey. It's all about expression. It's all about growing into our beauty, into our strength
Yes.
as a community, meeting each other where we are and lifting each other up in the way that this podcast
Thank
is doing.
Yes.
Bringing artists together to talk about what they're doing.
Yes.
Giving artists that voice, that platform.
Yes.
To receive some recognition. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Yes.
And again, thanks to Marion Cultural Alliance for the support. We want to thank the Corkscrew Bar and Tim for allowing us this space. But before we leave, I want to tap into, some folks might be like, hey, the Christmas hat. We need to talk about the Christmas hat. Ruby is gifting you this wonderful event that is coming up on the 16th. And that is why Miss Santa, is wearing that wonderful
Yes.
Christmas hat.
Um,
It's a gift to you.
Yes.
The book she gifted to you by writing this book with passion. And of
Thank
course,
you.
now this wonderful event is happening on Martin Luther King Day, which is the 16th of January. And, it's going to be a wonderful event. Join the Facebook page. Ruby, we thank you. We thank you.
Thank you, Sean, for having me. It was an absolute blessing and privilege to be here. And I look forward to seeing this forum grow.
Thank you.
By leaps and bounds as you continue your conversations.
Well, I think the Ocala Arts and Entertainment, how could you not grow when you start your podcast off with a giant of a person as Ruby Boddie blessing us with this wonderful book that is just recently published. And the stories she shared with us, her journey, you know.
I hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag, but I am aware that you are also a recently published author. I
Well,
believe, yes, and we have to give credit where credit is due. Yes, the
that
Calypso
is,
Real Book.
yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I too recently published my first book. It's called the Calypso Real Book. And that is a book about, it's similar to books that will help you learn how to play jazz music. And when I started doing performances and doing going to these jam sessions, I always felt that our calypso music was not a style of music we played and we jammed to. So this is why I decided to, just bless the space with doing this book, Calypso Real Book, so that people around the world could have calypso music to jam on, and it could be a form of conversation. Ruby, thank you very much.
I have every confidence it will do fantastic in the space. It was much needed.
Thank you very much, Ruby. And we want to thank you again for coming on. We know you are very busy working on your blog and your website and your Facebook group and all of that. Again, Ocala Arts and Entertainment, Ruby Boddie, folks. Thank you, Ruby.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.